Welcome back to the Rare Insights Podcast, The Rip. I'm Mikey Reds, and today we have a very special guest. You guys may know him from a very popular, awesome film, especially if you're Hoopers. He's come out in Oscar-winning movies. He's an educator. He's a family man, and he's a Hooper. It's going to be a great episode. We got Nana with us. Nana, thanks for being here, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
For sure. And if you guys, that's Junior Battle. Junior Battle is here. I'm just like, I don't want to just mark you as that, but obviously I'm super excited because, one, I love the film that you were in. I love both of the films you're in. The ones that I'm thinking about is obviously Gran Torino and Coach Carter.
Yep.
Great movies. But more than that, we have an interesting relationship because you helped train my high school basketball team.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you remember from that?
Sucky
basketball?
No. It's a lot of fun just coaching kids because growing up, I had a bunch of mentors that helped me with my game. So it's only right that I pay for it, give it back. So I try and be that same type of role model, that same type of help, that lifeline that I had. So anytime I get the opportunity to, I'm all for it. Players, friends, coaches, they'll ask me to come in and, I'm excited at the opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool, man. And we definitely appreciated it because mentorship is important. I mean, a lot of kids grow up and maybe they have both parents, but they're working all the time.
Yeah.
Or a lot don't have dads per se or moms, so things happen. So to have people like you come in and help it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up? I mean, I know the answer to these, but where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
So, so I grew up San Fernando Valley. Went to, went to Porter Middle School. Then went over to Kennedy High School in Granada Hills. Kennedy was a lot of fun. That's back when I didn't always make the best decisions, but I mean, high school teenagers, who does?
Yeah.
But one thing that helped me was basketball. Got into basketball early and stayed focused on that. I still didn't take it as serious as I should have, but I had mentors. I had people that were in my ear, but back then I didn't really think that I could make something serious out of it. I thought it was just a game that I could play with friends. And I always relied on my athleticism. So I wasn't in the gym working like I should have been. And that's why I try and give back, to try and get to those kids that, like yourself, when you were younger, you were athletic. And I know there was a kind of side of you that you try to rely on that.
Yeah.
And I try and just help say, hey, there's more to it than, just slam dunking the ball or, blocking somebody's shot.
Yeah.
So I try and be that type of voice. And I didn't listen to I didn't listen to a lot of those people in my ear, and I could have done better things basketball wise. But yeah, I was young.
Yeah.
I was young, and I just loved the highlights, and
Yeah.
that was about it for me. But yeah, I had a great upbringing. Both parents were around. Mom worked nights. Dad worked at Warner Brothers Studios. So I had a really good upbringing. And like I said, coaches were always they're always there for me. So it was pretty cool. And college wise, that was when it really became fun. It became more of a job then, but it was still fun. You build the bonds, the brotherly love. I played at Washburn University out in Kansas first, transferred to Henderson State down in Arkansas. Had a blast, traveled the country, played some great competition. And then when I got done, I had tried out for a team in Manila that came out here to visit. And they liked my game, and they were kind of going to start me on this lower end contract. But before I was supposed to fly out, I got a flyer asking if they were, like looking for players that look young. So thought I'd give it a shot, and then lo and behold, that was Coach Carter. That was my first movie. So that was like one of my first jobs in college.
Hold on. Let's backtrack a little bit. What would you say to, because I feel like our stories are similar in the sense to where we were athletic, people were trying to help us develop and see the technical side of basketball, the discipline side of basketball. I too didn't listen to anyone. I was very stubborn. Had some good people around. What would you tell the kids that are watching this that love basketball, that are in the same boat? They could probably dunk, they could score, but maybe they're not in the gym 4 times a day or early in the morning. Like, yeah, what advice can you give them?
The same thing I tell the kids I coach now. It's just that there's always somebody in the gym that's working just as hard, if not harder. So you have to have something that'll separate you. Are you that player that's going to work hard to try and get the 10 to 15 rebounds? Are you that player that's always going to be diving on the ground? Something that'll separate you, because you can find, it's like scores are a dime a dozen, right? There's not that many defenders. Everybody's athletic. The athleticism back when, like you were young or I was young, it was rare to see. Now it's literally every guy walking in the gym is slam dunk. A lot of girls now, they're either touching the rim or slam dunking. So just being athletic isn't going to separate you. So that would be the one thing I would tell a lot of the younger generation. You got to do something that'll make you stand out. And if slam dunking or blocking somebody's shot is all it's going to be, then you're limiting yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. So
great advice. Okay, something that separates yourself.
Yeah.
We have a figure here, a bobblehead that I think did a really great job at that. Mamba mentality. Who's your favorite basketball player and NBA team?
Yeah,
Kobe.
Yep, Lakers.
What'd you love about Kobe?
Everything.
I love that. Everything.
Yeah. No, the guy's work ethic was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think if we could bottle that, I know for a fact if there was somebody sold something that was like the Mamba mentality, drink this and you'll be that much better of a player, athlete.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have spent. It didn't matter the cost.
I'll do it right now at 35 years old. Let me get that.
Yep. And it was the way he would think outside the box was incredible. Some of the moves that he would make, that you think defenders have him stopped one way, and then he would spin back the other way, or it was something crazy where it's like, man, who thinks of stuff like that?
He was so he was intellectual. Like, I love the fact that I've heard so many interviews and they say that he would play mind games, like a subtle mind game, where like these guys would come in and he would be like, "Hey, you going out tonight?" They'd be like, "Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, reservation. I'll take care of it." And he would comp everything, and it was just so that they wouldn't go to the gym, and he would, so that they would be tired the next game. So it looked like a beautiful gift, but it was really just to play with them. Like he was really intellectual.
Yep.
Dang, I was not intellectual. Okay, so you see the flyer right before you fly out to Manila, the Philippines. How did you feel in that moment once you realized that it was a casting call?
So
that decision, like, tell us,
I had never been on anything like that before in my life. When I got the flyer, I thought it's probably a joke. I've never seen myself in that career or ever thought about that direction. And it's just one thing to cross off the list. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I almost didn't go because, like I said, I was living in Silmar. The audition or everything was in San Pedro, which is like an hour and something away. Coming out of college, when you have to drive more than 20 minutes and you paying for your own gas, it's tough. So I almost didn't go, but someone was like, just give it a shot. Went down there. The basketball choreographers were they were some coaches that had seen me play high school.
Okay.
So they already knew that I could play. So that part was pretty much easy. It was the read the lines. That was tough. Like I said, I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
So I took it as a test where I just memorized the material and then put a little bit of emotion to it. And it helped that it was basketball. So it's a situation where I've been in many a time.
Yeah.
All right, let me take that back. The situation was the scene was that the character just got abused by this other Junior Battle just got abused by Ty Crane. So I'm asking
what do you mean by abused?
Like he just got killed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he was getting dunked on. So essentially the first game.
Oh, we're getting into that. Yeah, I wrote it down, baby. You set the tone for the whole film.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I'm walking back with my teammate Kenyon. Rob Brown is the actor's name. Walking back and we're discussing that. I'm asking him, hey, how did it look? Was it really that bad? Did he really make me look bad? And he's trying to console me and like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. When ultimately, like you saw in the first scene, I get dunked on.
Yep.
Or Junior Battle gets dunked on.
So sad.
Oh, yeah,
I was sad for you. I was like, no. And then as they pan to the next scene, you're just sitting on the floor like, ah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was pretty bad. But yeah, that was the first read. And like I said, it's basketball, so I'm not gonna say I've been in that situation many times. Like I ain't been dunked on like that. But it's one of those things where we've all been in situations where the person may have got the best of us. So it was pretty easy for me to relate to the character.
Got it. How many times have you been dunked on in your life? I can tell you mine. I've gotten dunked once, and it was horrible. And I was in 9th grade by this guy. I don't even know the guy's name. He was in Hollywood High School, and it was a tournament. And he came from the angle, and I jumped and caught. And it's on YouTube. Don't go look it up.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, so I've gotten dunked on once.
So in college, you'll get dunked on a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't – it's one of those things where a coach will yell at you if you don't contest. And now I'm not saying for you to run underneath and, try and, I'm not saying that. But at least get an arm in the way, maybe try and disrupt the person's, because you never know. Somebody may try and dunk it too hard, and you may have not been the one to block it. Yeah. But he maybe thought of your hand swiping by. Yeah.
He had to move a little bit.
Yeah. So you get dunked on a lot.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm talking about like DeAndre Jordan, what's his name, on the ground. Like,
the worst
I'm talking Kobe on Steve Nash. Like,
oh, man, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes.
The worst one, you know what? The worst one was the Coach Carter one, because I fell and I slid back. All the other ones, like you'll contest it, tip the ball, and it'll like roll in. So that one was a clean dunk where like I jump, if he dunks it, I fall, I slide back. He says the whole "stay out of my way" and then throws his headband at me. Yeah, so that one was the worst one.
You're holding back right now. It's okay. It's okay. Show the basketball kids that it happens, man.
It definitely happens. I have been dunked on. I've been dunked on. Probably. Oh man,
I'm smiling so hard right now.
Probably. We played a charity game, and it was
this is Power 106.
No, this was through the NBA Entertainment. So it was
the E League.
Yeah.
At Crossroads High School.
Yep.
I used to go watch it all the time.
Yeah. I didn't get dunked on in the E League. It was a charity game that we had put on. Okay. And it was like some of the guys from N1, and it was. So on that team, I was pretty much the only somewhat professional against guys from the N1. Yeah. Or it's like N1 or Ball Up. And my buddy, I think it was Sick with It, or somebody came through, or it was Bone. Ooh. Bone Collector came through, and I went to try and contest Bone's shot, and Bone threw it up. And when you see that as a basketball player, your instinct tell you don't go for it. Yeah. And I went for it. Okay. And I don't remember this guy's name, but
But he was on
got
and
it.
one. He
Yeah.
got you. Did you
Yeah.
fall?
Nah.
Okay, good.
They had to. I
Wasn't that
didn't
bad?
fall, but it was a pretty bad dunk.
Yeah.
And I've dunked on so many people,
Yeah.
so many times, so many ways.
Yeah.
I didn't really care because, like I said, in college you get dunked on
Yeah.
a lot. Players get dunked on all the time. But it was more so like it just wasn't fair because we didn't have the type of team that they had, and we couldn't match up well. So we wanted to play a zone, but don't get me wrong, there's some incredible players on that.
Of course,
those guys. I tip my hat to them. They're great players. They great professionals.
Talented,
yeah, very talented. But it's like, give us a chance where we got to work with what we got.
Yeah.
So we may have to run a zone.
Mm-hmm.
But as you know, they don't let you run zone. They don't want you to run a zone. They got to be man to man. So somebody gets beat by, of course, Bone Collector. It's hard to stay in front of that guy.
Yeah.
So I rotate over to help and leave my guy. My guy, got some incredible bounce.
Yeah.
And when I go back over to my guy, the ball's in the air, and so that's probably one of the worst ones.
You got to feel what it was like to be on the other side of the coin, man.
Yeah.
And it's all right. Don't feel bad about it. It happens. At least yours isn't on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
it's somewhere out there.
Is it?
It's not. I don't think it's on YouTube, but it's somewhere out there.
Boom. We need you on, man. Come on, bro. We need to know about that Pasadena life and tell me what you did or not. No, just like. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that was my first thing. I wanted to get into how that scene really set the tone for the whole movie, in my opinion. I won't get too deep about it because,
it still hurts.
Yeah, that. And I wanted to ask you, what was the experience like on set on that film?
So from the very first day, it was just like being on a regular team. We had the brotherhood. Everybody was friendly. We showed each other so much love. First actual table read. Table read is where everybody gets around and then they read over the script, right?
Practice, yeah.
Like practice. First table read, I'm nervous. We're at Paramount Studios, and I'm just sweating bad. Like palms are sweating, everything. I'm like drenched.
What?
So because it's Samuel Jackson. That's the first time I've met Samuel Jackson.
Legend,
yeah, he's a legend, and it's like to see him across the table. And I had never had any type of acting experience or any type of work. Now Paramount hired an acting coach to work with.
Okay.
But I mean, these guys are like seasoned professionals.
Oh man.
So I'm reading with them, so I'm nervous. So we finished the table read, and the Paramount lot is gorgeous, right? And I asked, hey, can I just run to the restroom real quick? They were like, oh yeah, sure. So they point me to a restroom. I get to the restroom. This is the most beautiful restroom I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's like you could eat off the floor. Like it's that clean. The
toilets are made of gold.
Yeah, it's like the faucets were.
Oh,
like, it was like, I don't know if it was like real gold, but it looked like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's the most beautiful restroom I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm in there by myself. I go to the stall, and again, nobody else is there. I'm trying to calm down, right?
Yeah.
And the door opens up, and in walks Sam Jackson.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No.
So I'm freaking out because the first thing I'm thinking, I'm in the wrong bathroom. This got to be like VIP bathroom. That's why it looks so nice. So he comes over to the stall next to me.
And
I think he was messing with me.
Oh
yeah, I wanted to. I didn't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And again, this is my first real interaction with Sam. So I was like, I gotta say something. Like it's awkward. And I said, hey, do you know who you are? Probably the dumbest thing I could have ever said. But
that's a real question, Nana.
That's real. Like, yeah, I mean, this is Samuel Jackson. I'm pretty sure he knows who he is.
You just forgot to say to me. To me? Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, I have an idea. So I was like, so stupid. Why would you say something like that? So I was like, I got to make up. And again, I was nervous, didn't know what to do. So we're both at the urinals, and I'm just about finished up. And I said, okay, yeah. So I reach over, and I'm like, hey, man, it's nice.
No.
he was like, man, I'm not shaking your hand. I said, oh, my bad.
Oh, my bad, man. I got excited.
I was so nervous. Like I said, I was shook.
Yeah,
I was so shook.
What a moment.
I mean, that dude is in Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's in like everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do.
You know what? He should have shook your hand, bro.
That would have been epic.
Y'all would have been bonded for life, man, after that.
But honestly, after that moment, he would mess with me from then on. Like
about that?
Not necessarily about that, but like he'll come on the set, and if you're not paying attention, like he'll come on the set and just punch you in the shoulder, like give you a bear hug, and like mess with you.
I like that. Yeah, just tease you. Like Big Brother, you kind of.
Yeah. And from time to time he'll call and he used to call and just see what I'm doing, see how things are going. So
that's awesome, man. So he kind of took the role of a guide in a way, like kind of make you feel comfortable and things like that. Yeah. Now I look at the rest of your castmates in that film, and I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. There are some that are now, they have a long list of great films on their roster.
Yep.
They're considered, great actors. And I don't know, because I was in high school at that time. Were they already kind of at that caliber? Like, we talk about like Channing Tatum and Rick Gonzalez, or were they also kind of just starting out to where you may not have felt the same as you did with Sam, maybe?
So, the guy that played Timo, Rick, I had seen him on stuff before.
Yeah.
Robert Richard, he played Coach Carter's son, Damien. Same deal. I had seen him on stuff before. In fact, all of them I had seen them. The only person I hadn't seen was Channing.
Okay.
But Channing, at that time, he was like number, and don't ask me how I know this. He was like number 40 something on the 100 most sexiest men on earth, like for his modeling.
Yeah.
So he was already kind of on his way to that route. I was the only one that I had never never acted before. My dad worked for Warner Brothers, but not in that capacity.
Yeah.
More on the other end, like distribution, film wise and stuff. So I was the only one that had never been exposed to that before.
Yeah.
Those guys had been working, and they were on their way to becoming household names or just becoming big characters. They had been studying that stuff for years. So I was just humbled just to be there.
Yeah. Man, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah. It was a trip. It was a trip. Seeing all the people that you see on TV, you see in movies, and they're right there, and they're cool.
Yeah. So, did you get a glimpse? Well, can't say did you get a glimpse. Did you realize what a lot of us realize when we end up meeting people in these industries is that they're really just human. Like, they have a sense of humor. They eat burgers probably the same way. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like us. They just have a talent.
There was a number of things that we would do to each other, mess with each other, play pranks on each other on set. And it's like, you didn't expect, you see these guys in a different light. But then when, like you said, when you are around them, when you hang out with them, and you realize, they're normal people. They laugh at the same stuff. They act the same way. They do the same thing, but they have that.
Is it okay to ask you what kind of pranks you might have played on each other?
Yep. So we did. We did a lot. Sam was also messing around too. Let's see. There's stuff that's in the movie too. So like one of my good friends, Texas Battle. He's been in Final Destination. He's done a number of films. He played Maddox in Coach Carter. Still like we're like brothers to this day. He would mess with me on set, like while we were filming, while the camera's rolling. Like he'll do stuff, and then the camera would pan to us, so I can't get back at him. So there was one scene where, when Rick. Timo had finished his lines, but he was short. We were in the gym, and then Twan Worm comes up and he's like, "Oh, I'll do some for her." Or no, Robert Richard does it first, and then Twan is like, he's at the end. He's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'll do some too."
That was funny.
So yeah, but that scene, funny. If you watch it again, Texas was messing with the whole time while they're saying their lines. He's like, he was like scratching my shoulder. He was elbowing me. He was doing all this stuff, and just as the camera panned, so I said before the camera panned to it, I said, "Oh, he's gonna feel this one."
Yeah.
So as the camera was panning, right before it got to us, I shot him probably the hardest elbow. I said like right to like right in here.
Yeah.
And the camera gets on us, and he tried to hold it back, but you see him facing me, and he's got this big smile on his face because he can't do anything. There's nothing that he can do, but he's in pain. Oh,
he's holding it.
Yeah, I wound up on that one, just shot him.
And you don't have small elbows, man. So
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, he was feeling that one for a while. But we did stuff like that with Worm. So there was a scene where we're in the locker room, and that's when we just lost that last game, and coach is in there talking. I'm standing up, or like I have 1 foot prop on the bench. Locker's like right behind us. He's sitting right next to me, and I go to sit down. But as I go to sit down, I stomp on his foot like hard, and I was doing it every take. And same deal. We wait, camera pans on us, then we do our stuff. Or right before the camera pans, we do our stuff, and the camera hits you. You can't mess around because the director will get on you. Yeah. But I mean, it was just fun and games like the whole time. And like I said, Sam got into it too. Sam would do stuff, and I would try and mess with Sam, and he's such a professional.
Yep.
I tried my hardest to get him to crack, get him to laugh.
Nope.
Nothing.
Too much experience, man.
Oh, it was one scene where we're in the store. When I come back and I have to apologize. Yeah. So
she said, "He's in the car."
Yeah. And she's a tremendous actress.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
Just the ad libs and stuff she was coming up with.
The emotion that she can on the spot. Like, I was like, wow, I felt every second of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene, so we got Sam's coverage at first. So I'm behind the camera and I'm feeding Sam the lines. He's going over his stuff. And as I'm feeding him lines, I'm making faces, right? I'm doing all this stuff, trying to get him to break, and nothing. And then the director yells, "Cut, turn it around." I was like, so now they're getting my coverage. So Sam is behind the camera, and I gotta be sad in the scene and all that. And Sam is over there making these faces, doing all this ridiculous stuff. And mind you, he's Sam. So like, hey, nobody's gonna say, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, you gotta straighten up." Nobody's gonna say that.
No.
But let me crack a smile and all that. Oh yeah, the director is on my head.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a good way. In a good way.
Did you feel like that took away from your scene at all, or did you conquer it?
No, at that point, I got a little more experience.
Okay.
So I was able I did break a few times. I did break. It's tough.
I mean, with a face like Sam's, it's kind of just playing.
No, but it was
cool,
fun.
Man.
It was fun. We enjoyed it. And yeah, we messed with each other all the time. And that's what I was saying. It was just like being on a regular team.
Yeah.
Like brothers.
Yeah. Now that I watched that film as an adult, I see it differently. And I won't get deep, but Worm is really funny. Like, he's probably one of the funniest in that whole film.
Yeah.
Well, I was just like, how come I don't remember laughing at this before? Anyway. All right. Who were you closest to on the set?
It's a good one. Honestly, we were all close. But like I said, my best friend, Texas.
Yeah.
Only because when we were at the audition in San Pedro, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to come over. Actually, he was the second one. And Texas came through and he was like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you the real. This is what it's gonna be like. Just have fun." And like he was the one that took me under his wing, and more so directed me on what to expect and so forth. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Did you dunk on anyone as a practical joke? I would have dunked on Sam for sure.
No, Sam was never in a position to where
smart man.
But there was a scene where, and this is where I'll say, like, I wasn't at my peak athletically, but I was close to it.
Yeah.
And there's, we shoot the scene, and then you're supposed to just keep going, so it looks like it's a real game. Like, you don't just shoot a scene and then just stop. Like, everybody stands still. So you're supposed to keep going in the flow of things. So the other team is supposed to do something, and then either score or something happens, and then we're supposed to transition. But they're not shooting the transition part. So the first couple takes, like first take, I go down, I get the ball, and I go up for a layup, and one of the guys jumps over, and he tries to contest it.
Yeah.
In like a playful way. So I said, okay, now on this next one, jump as hard as you can. Right? I gave him that word, and he said, okay, and I think he understood what I meant, because I was going like really jump. The other takes, like I said, went up for a layup, wasn't really going at it that hard. So then the next time we go down, I take off, and I just, nothing crazy. I just kind of like I go with my left, and I kind of cock it back, bring it back.
Yeah.
But the ball like flew out of my hands, and it still went in.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't like a clean dunk.
Okay.
And he had jumped, and he jumped as hard as he could, and he got close.
Yeah.
So the crowd starts booing, and because they were expecting the dunk.
Yeah.
So I'm telling everybody, hey, 2 points is still 2 points.
Yeah,
like, calm down.
Yeah.
Then I tell him again as we're going back, I said, make sure you jump as hard as you can.
Yeah.
He says, okay. Like, he jokingly, he's like, you're not going to do anything.
Not gonna do it.
So, okay. So they shoot it. We're going down. And this time I start the windmill, and then I stop. And the crowd, like, they all gasp. Like, oh, you know, like, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, just how we just did.
Yeah. So he was like, he's like, you won't get it. Like, nobody like is gonna windmill on somebody.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. Next time we go, again, this time jump as hard as you can. I'm not gonna stop. And he said, okay, bet. So they go shoot it. We come down, and I take off on the like real windmill, and I like full extension, and I caught his shoulder and kind of pushed him down a little bit, and then dunked it. Yeah. And everybody went crazy. And I'm not the disrespectful dunker. Like, I don't make fun of you. I don't do all that unless you force me into it.
Yeah.
But you know, like we laughed about it. We joked about it after that. But yeah, it was funny. That's when like I wasn't at my peak, but I was still I was young. You know, so
well, you got him.
Yeah, I got him.
You are.
But they didn't show that. There was a number of takes, number of things that happened on the set that they didn't put in the film, which would have been crazy.
You're a good guy, man. I see the humility. You're like, you know, I don't make fun of people. You don't have to. That was enough embarrassment. Last question about that. What's something you learned on set you'll never forget?
Ooh. Wow. The inexperienced actor. They mess up.
Yeah.
They'll tend to say, you know, my bad, or you know, like start like think the whole thing is done.
Yeah.
So in Hollywood, you just keep going. Like, you keep going. If you need to reshoot the line or re-say the line, just go ahead and redo it. You know, but
because the editors will take care of it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that. I learned that, and that helped me a lot. I was always saying, "Oh, my fault, my bad." They were saying, "Stop saying that. Don't worry about it. Just
do it again."
Yeah. So
okay,
yeah,
cool. That's something you carried with you around the rest of your career.
Yeah.
On my notes here, I was gonna get into the coaching aspect of it, but man, I'm curious. You know, you were a part of an Oscar award-winning film under a legendary director who's been making films for decades.
Yep.
And you were in a scene with another acquaintance of mine, Corey.
Oh.
And you know, what was that being a part of that film like, and working with those actors like?
You're talking about Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, yeah. Sorry, yeah, Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Great film.
So
very racist film.
Yeah.
Very racist.
So I'd heard about Clint Eastwood's sets. Like, Clint Eastwood expects perfection.
Oh, okay.
Clint Eastwood, you know, like, he'll shoot rehearsals. You have to always be on your toes when you're working with Clint Eastwood. So it was like, first I was excited to meet him. I was nervous to meet him, but I was also scared about his sets because I'm still learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
So
and you're coming from a fun set.
Yeah.
To
and then
a
going
strict set.
Yep, exactly. So I was nervous about it. But then when I got there, it was the complete opposite. Now, mind you, Clint Eastwood sets are always under budget, and he's always like ahead of schedule.
Mm.
So his crew, well-oiled machine. Like they take care of everything. They're so detail oriented to the point where it's almost as though Clint doesn't really need to do anything. Like, his AD, everybody's got everything taken care of.
Everyone knows what he expects. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So when I first got there, he like we go to the hotel, drop our things off, and they're like, once you guys, drop your bags off, come down to the lobby. Yeah. Okay, strange. Are we gonna do like table read? What's going on? And we get down there and we jump in the vans, and Clint had arranged for us to go to a Kid Rock concert.
What?
Yeah.
Did you like Kid Rock?
I've never been to like a Kid. I've never really like listened to Kid Rock.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, oh man, this is amazing.
Yeah,
like,
I could really see your hair going
So it was just like a cool experience. I can tell people, you haven't experienced life till you've been to a Kid Rock concert in Detroit. They love Kid Rock out there, and it was fun. So it was like that's the first experience that I had on that set, or just working with that set. And then when we got to the set, it was all like, it was just like being on the Coach Carter set, except they, like, if I could describe the Coach Carter set, it was like a high school experience. The Gran Torino set was more like, it was business, but it was fun. It was like it was more like a job,
like a first real job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they understood that, okay, you guys are young, you guys, are, and they knew my resume. They knew, like, okay, he's inexperienced. He's like, he's just getting there. But it was still like, it was a blast working with, because it was not only Clint Eastwood, but it was Clint Eastwood's son. It was Scott, and Scott, like,
also a good actor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, I've been blessed. I've worked with tremendous actors, great actors. Scott, he's the one that he's dating, or he's associated with, I can't remember her name, B, in the movie.
Okay.
So we have to go rough him up. Clint was like, no, you got to slam him this way. Like, you got to throw him to the ground, kick him, punch, like all that. Because it was his real son.
He's like, beat up my son. Don't take it easy on him.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
it was
Clint, you're a gangster, Clint.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. It was fun. But it was night and day, in that we were, like I said, it felt like we were being babysat on the Coach Carter set, and then the Gran Torino set was just like, it's all business. Yes, have fun, but we got a job.
That film won an Oscar. Does that have an effect in your career, being a part of an Oscar award-winning film? Like, does that change your life in some way, or?
Nah, honestly, the whole entertainment aspect, like, I've never set out to do that. So I was just along for the ride.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't think about Oscars. I didn't think about any of that stuff. I was just like, okay, cool, got another job. I'm, going to work.
Oh, okay.
So,
because like in the music industry, when you have producers and songwriters who are part of like Grammy award-winning projects, they start to get like other work or something like that. Like it like puts them in a different space, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. But like I said, for me, I never looked at it like that. I never thought about it like that. I was just, like I said, I was like, like, we're hoopers. Okay, when are we gonna get on the court next time? Like, that was our mindset.
Okay, got it. What made you stop acting? You're not acting anymore, right?
No. So again, never really set out to do that. So it wasn't my focus all the time. It was just, I treated it more as
a hobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was easy to, when my coaching came about, it was easy to just say, okay, cool. This is something that I know. This is something that I love doing. Still, basketball affiliated. So, when coaching jobs came up, I jumped on it. When basketball opportunities came up, I was all for it.
Yeah. Were you still being offered jobs, like acting jobs?
Yeah, there was still a number of auditions that they were sending me on, and it's different in that with basketball, it's like basketball. You go to the gym, you work out, you train for your position, all that stuff, and you're essentially rewarded for the work that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
In the entertainment industry, not always the case, and especially nowadays, it's changing with like social media. That plays a big part in it. So it's not.
Now it's about how many followers you have.
Yeah,
I'll give you the job if you have 1 million followers.
Yeah.
As opposed to being talented.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So that's one thing that's changed about it. But like, if I'm being honest, my heart wasn't in it as others are, and they, others are more deserving because that's their passion. That's what they set out to do. That's where they, wanted this, their career goals were. Not necessarily for me.
Okay.
So, and again, it was a huge blessing. So don't think I'm not grateful for it.
No, it's just not a career that you wanted to focus on.
Yeah.
Your love for basketball was priority.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Which I fully respect. Coach Carter was known for his extreme approaches to the game.
Yeah.
Obviously for a good reason, wanting kids to excel and to get out from whatever neighborhoods they're a part of and have success in life. What do you take any of those approaches and apply them to your coaching job now, your high school coaching job?
So
you make them sit in the front of the class?
No, the places that I've worked, I've been fortunate. The kids, they're all good kids.
Awesome.
They use stuff from the movie. Like they'll quote stuff from the movie.
Of course.
One of the programs that I work with, we were dealing with like young kids, like kindergartners, first graders, all that stuff. And it was a first grade team. So their game had finished. We're coaching third and fourth grade level now. There's a first grader that's sitting there, just wanted to be there, be a part of it. The kids hang out all the time. And he starts, he calls me over, Coach Nana, and he starts quoting lines from Gran Torino.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's because, as you know, Gran Torino, I literally, every other word is like a cuss word.
It's a rated R film.
Yeah. So I got this little kid over here quoting the lines. And I mean, it's cool to see, but at the same time, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like not cool because, again, most of the things that I'm saying are,
you're like, cool you watched it, but
you
watched it. Your parents let you watch that?
Yeah, exactly. So, so I mean, they
tease you.
Like I said, I've been fortunate. Most of the kids are pretty good. Grades are all great. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate. I coach with my younger sister. She's head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes care of anything that comes close to that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. What about trash talk? Because Coach Carter frowned at trash talk. Now I know a lot of people, especially hoopers, are like, yo, it gives them some kind of motivation or whatever. You hear about stories about Tim Duncan being subtle, but Michael Jordan being extreme. How do you feel about trash talk? I mean, I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about how you feel about it.
So when I was younger, high school age, all that stuff, there was some trash talk, but it wasn't in. It depends on the other player.
Okay.
If it's more so like, hey, not gonna say anything, just play hard, then cool.
Yeah.
I'll play hard. I won't say anything. But people would try and
test you.
Yeah. Oh, they would try and like, okay. And I was never disrespectful to, like to that extent.
Yeah.
It was more so like I would kind of like the Tim Duncan trash talk, where if you were trying to get a rebound and I knew I was going to jump over you and get this rebound, I would come over you. I'd say, "Excuse me," like, "Oh, were you trying to get this?"
Oh, you're rude.
Like, yeah,
so
that
rude.
was my
trash.
Yeah,
nice
like
try.
my fault. Yeah, exactly. Like that was my trash talk.
Okay.
But I'm not the biggest fan of how they trash talk now. I'm not the
Mm.
biggest fan of that. I see too much disrespect. If you're going to be that bold to come up and point in somebody's face, now mind you, in Coach Carter they had me doing that, but I didn't really. That's not me.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be bold enough to do that, then I think you have to understand that a normal person is not going to let you just walk up to them and be that disrespectful. I get it if you say something like you're not that good or you suck.
Yeah.
Like fine, I get that, and we could talk back. But if you're going to do something physical, then okay, that's crossing the line.
Another level.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Were you happy that the Celtics won the championship?
Nope.
Real Laker fan.
I think that was people always talk about the bubble championship with the Lakers.
Yep.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
you're
how did you
still
feel
there.
about that?
So you're still there competing. I think it's actually better because there's no distractions.
Exactly.
Like you're not going out partying the night before. You're not doing any of that. You're in the hotel. You're focused on just playing.
Yeah.
I think it's a neutral site, so I think that's better too because there's no
home court advantage.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I think it makes it more challenging because also they don't have fans which you can feed off of.
Yep.
There's silence.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's a mental thing. And I think that one is harder than the one that the Celtics just won because the one that the Celtics just won, everybody was hurt in the East.
Yeah.
Literally. Now I'm not a big Mavericks fan, but I don't think they were quite ready for. I would have been cool with Denver. Denver getting there. Even though as a Laker fan, if you beat the Lakers, I'm not really, I'm not
super happy about that.
Yeah. But I think it would have been better for the game. Like it would have been more competitive.
It would have made more sense, maybe.
Yeah. And I would have had more respect for Boston had they beat, the champs. Like this, everybody was hurt. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So every superstar was out. So.
Oh, do you like LeBron? Do you like LeBron?
Yes, I respect him. I'm a diehard Kobe fan.
Me too. Sorry, LeBron.
I
I hated LeBron for a long time, strictly because of my love for Kobe. As the years have gone on, he's definitely gained my respect.
No, he's a good dude. So I mean, I can't knock on him for that. He's definitely a good dude. He does stuff for the community. Not to say other players don't,
right.
At that level to see him give back like that is really a cool thing.
Yeah.
Basketball wise, the level that Kobe was at, I don't think LeBron is there. I don't think he'll ever get. I don't think anybody will get there.
Bang, bang, bang! Comments. Let us know what you think.
Listen, again, he's skilled, but he's like athletic freight train, whereas Kobe is more. Like skill.
He's like a finesse, smooth finesse.
Yep.
And LeBron's a running back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel you. See, finally, guys, have someone who understands.
Yeah.
This is coming from a basketball
too. When it was like between KD and LeBron, I honestly felt like KD was a better player because he was a better shooter.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's like 6'11" and can handle, get to the rack, and then shoot.
Yep.
LeBron. He wasn't shooting like KD.
Nope.
His handle wasn't as clean as KD.
Nope.
But if you get in his way, it's going to be a problem for you.
Yep.
So that was my take on it. That's KD since the injuries. He's kind of lost a step. He's still a great player, but he's lost a step. So that kind of that ended that debate.
Yeah.
But there's nobody like Kobe.
What do you think about Wemby?
He's scary.
It is kind of scary.
It's weird to see somebody that big be able to do the things that he can do.
And he's not even developed like with the professionals that are going to help his ball handling skills. Like he could be nasty.
And then he puts on size. Oh, man.
You ever play NBA Live like as a kid? Or what was that basketball game where you could put cheat codes in and then you would get these really big players?
All that stuff. Yeah.
That's him.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
Some of his dunks, it's the one, they had it on social media where he was making the dunk, but then they had a clip from Space Jam where
when he's stretching out,
it looked just like
Yep.
So
we're watching modern day Space Jam right now.
Yeah, he's scary. He's very scary, and I I fear for the league once he gets older. And I heard that his brother, his younger brother, is also like built the same. I don't think he's as tall, but he's lanky and he's got a great game to him.
Wow.
So yeah.
25 years from now, we're gonna see a league full of Wembies. Okay. Now we're getting into this, and mind you, we're going a while. And let me know if you have to go. We can cut it whenever you want to. The good thing about having long form content is that obviously we don't have to use everything. We can use the best of everything. Who do you think has been the most impactful player in the NBA, in NBA history? The most impactful. Who's impacted the game the most? And I'm sure there's several.
Wow.
There's one guy right now that I love.
I mean, crazy. You can't get away from Mike. MJ, like, he changed the way just basketball style. Like, I mean, look, the shoe game.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many players. I think AI is another one that impacted the game. Who else?
Yeah, but how did AI impact the game?
Oh, just his handle. Like, that crossover, when he hit Jordan with that crossover, it changed. There were other players that had nice cross. Like Tim Hardaway was one. Who else? Who were some of the other players? Yeah. Isaiah. They had a great handle, but nobody was as flashy as AI. Yeah. And when he hit Mike with that cross, that was dude. That set him. Yeah, that set the game.
They had to change the rules for him, right?
Yeah, him. Shaq was one they had to change the rules for. In so many like good ways and bad ways. They had to reinforce the baskets because of Shaq. Man, like
I agree with you but Allen Iverson I think also changed the game and the culture as far as like how people were looking.
Yeah.
Now everyone wanted cornrows, everyone wanted tattoos and sleeves and And if you look at NBA players now, everyone is AI in that sense, right?
Yep.
Now, I may not fully agree with that, even though I have them, but I wish I didn't have them anymore. But there's another person that I'm hoping you would touch on who changed the game, bro.
Oh, I mean, there's a number of.
You want me to give you a clue? He's 6'3". He's amazing. He's a shooter.
Oh, Steph.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Steph. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, he's absolutely. Yeah, he's one that changed it.
No one plays basketball no more.
So I'm a Steph Curry fan in that I think shooting wise, yes, amazing.
Yeah.
I think overall game,
I
think they're better players. Yeah, I think they're. I think
who's the best?
Klay Thompson on that team. When Klay Thompson in his prime was a much better player because he could still shoot the same. He could get to the cup, and defensively, he's locking down their best player.
He's a bigger body, so he's definitely going to do a better job on defense.
So, and not to take away anything from Curry, amazing career, like you said, impacted the game. But I think just from a basketball perspective, from what I've seen, my personal opinion, I think Klay was a better player.
Who's the greatest point guard of all time?
Ooh.
And now I don't even feel like there are point guards now. Their positions are changing. They don't. Greatest point guard of all time. By the way, one of the top 6 greatest point guards just walked into my store like 2 days ago at Topanga Mall.
Ooh.
CP3. He just walked.
Oh yep. That's one.
He's definitely up there,
and he's a nice guy.
Really?
Really nice guy.
I heard the opposite.
No, he's a nice guy.
He was nice to me for sure.
Yeah, I've met him a few times, and it's been nothing but love. The first time shot a commercial with him, Carmelo, and Dwayne Wade.
Two greats,
Dwayne Wade, cool. Carmelo, he was more so business.
Yeah.
But Dwayne Wade.
But that's the New York in him, son. That's the New York in him. Yeah.
But like CP3 came on the set, talked to everybody, and then years later, he was at one of the schools that I was at, and he recognized me, but he didn't say anything, and he was taking a tour of the school. And he talked to the lady that was giving him a tour and was like, hey, isn't that Nana from Coach? And the lady was like, yeah. And they made it a point to come up and find me and talk to me during that. And then since then, like I would see him at the school. And all the time. He's one of the nicest people, nicest players that I've met. And like I said, I can't say enough good about that guy.
Yeah, and he's surprisingly tall. Like,
I
knew I know a lot of the point guards are tall because they look small to us on television, obviously, because everyone else is huge. But he's like my height.
Yeah.
So I'm looking eye to eye, and I'm like, Chris Paul is crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But I think going back to greatest point guard, like a true point guard, that is tough.
Yeah. And you're old school, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me, my favorite, and I grew up watching this guy, was Magic. Yeah. I think Magic, like
6'9"
he was,
point guard,
6'9" point guard, can find you and can literally play every position. But I mean, naturally had a great handle, and he was one of those where he's reading the play 3, 4, 5 plays ahead of like where you're at. So he'll throw the pass knowing that you're gonna, if you run hard, you'll meet it there at right at the basket. You got a nice easy layup.
So I didn't get to watch him, but I hear that from a lot of people who grew up watching him.
Yeah.
He was ahead of the game so much to where I think someone told me that the backcourt violation rule, I think was new, and he is the one who initiated the fact, like, if he needed to kill time, he would throw it in a certain direction so that they could. I'm killing this right now, Robert. I know you're watching this. Please leave it in the comments. He did something where I think he was the first person to throw it in the air to kill 3 seconds or something, like, because he was ahead of the game.
Yeah,
I don't know, but okay, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah, there's a number of them, but I think for me, because like I said, I grew up watching them.
Yeah.
But there's so many good guards, that have come through the league. But yes, the CP is one of them.
You like Kyrie?
Yes and no.
What?
I'm more old school. I think if we can set things up with, passing wise, like
let me drink some water right now.
Again, nothing to. I'm not taking anything away from that dude. Like, he's a magician with the basketball.
Facts,
but I'm old school in that, let's get the ball at the court with like few dribbles. I'm more like Spurs, old school Spurs basketball. Like, I'm more like that. I think if it takes you 3, 4, 5 dribbles to get by somebody, it's too many. And that's me personally.
I respect that.
Yeah, it's a flashy game now. So
plus, I think in any area of life, if you're able to simplify, it's always more impactful. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's why we used to play King of the Court sometimes.
Yeah,
you remember DJ?
3 dribbles.
My old teammate DJ, who went to San Diego State.
Yeah,
he was a monster.
Yeah, yep.
He would never get off the court.
Yeah,
and it was just 1 or 2 dribbles. Yeah. Dang.
Oh man, take me back.
Yeah, greatest season we had in 100 years of Poly High School. So I got a few questions here.
Okay.
Let's see if we can answer them as quickly as possible. That way.
Oh, I got a time limit on the questions too?
No, just boom. Let's see if we
okay.
Rapid fire. What's something you're weirdly good at?
Oh, sleep.
What? How many hours of sleep you get a day, man?
I can fall asleep anywhere at the drop of a dime. Like, I don't know if it's, again, going back to this old age thing.
Old
but
man, yeah. That's old man. You fall asleep at the movie theater?
Yeah, I could.
Are you gonna go watch Inside Out too?
So somebody was telling me about that, and they said I think it just topped the box office recently. But I'm waiting for Quiet Place.
Oh yeah,
Quiet Place. Oh,
it's a good one, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of genius to be able to entertain someone without noise, without sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a different skill for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
What's your most prized possession and why? Oh, my signed Coach Carter. No, just like jersey with all my friends.
Prized possession. I'm honestly not a guy that, I'm not like big on possessions and stuff like
material things.
Yeah, I think experience. Okay, so I'm a big Apple guy, right? Okay. I love Apple stuff.
Same.
Yeah, it's
we have like 10 devices in this house.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got multiple iPads. I got like I'm that guy. Like, okay, I got
one for coaching, one for the home. Yup, same, man. Same.
If they release it and it catches my attention, then I gotta go get it. I'm like, I just got the Vision, the Apple Vision.
What is that?
So it's the headset. Yeah.
Is it awesome?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I think so.
Gotta try it.
It's pretty pricey. It's like 40 after everything is like 4,700. But it's I mean, you could watch movies sitting on the moon. And like when you put those joints on, it's 3D. But it was like immersive because I guess Apple, you're not supposed to say 3D. But it's like
It's a Microsoft thing or something?
It's and then you can't say AI. You have to say Apple Intelligence now or something like that.
Oh, they're creating their own language. I get it.
But it's pretty cool in that it's immersive. Like it'll put you in that environment. So like the other day I was watching Rogue One on Tatooine. Like it looked like I was on an alien planet just watching a movie.
Oh, what an escape! That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. So that
Okay.
I think I use that a lot.
That might be your prized possession.
That might be because I like watching movies. So
yeah, you're a movie buff.
Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, all time.
Yeah.
It would be corny if I say Coach Carter, right?
No.
Nah. It's up there though.
Is it Coach Carter?
Nah. It's Quiet Place is definitely it's tops.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more shows. I watch a lot of shows. Right now I'm waiting on Silo. Silo's pretty good. The Last of Us. Waiting for that one.
Like I saw that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Everybody on there is up for an award. Let's see, but movie wise, Gladiator is also a big one.
Classic.
Yeah, Interstellar.
Ooh.
Any of the Dark Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few.
Best Batman. Who's the best Batman of all time?
Ooh, Christian Bale.
I gotta give it to him too.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton did a good job.
Yeah,
Val
he
Kilmer did a
did,
good
but
job.
Christian Bale took it to another level.
I believed him.
Like it was believable.
Yeah.
You know
like, what? Even the Twilight guy did all right, man. I didn't want to like him.
Robert
Pattinson.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like it, but I'm like, man, he did kind of. He did all right, man. You didn't?
I didn't. Only because like Christian Bale took it to another level, and I don't want it ruined.
I get it. I get it. Well, if you ever peep it out, it was all right, and no one's done a better voice than Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I agree. Touch, sight, hearing, smell, and taste. You can only keep one of your senses. Which would you keep and why?
Wow.
Yeah.
Only one, not like.
Yeah.
I mean,
only one. Which one you want?
Two of them at least.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
we'll get deep.
I would say, sight. To be able to see, like my family every day is a blessing. So I think that would be the one I would keep.
Beautiful. Okay, I love that. And what's your favorite thing to do after a tough day? Sleep.
Just going back. Yeah.
Hey, we're really getting to know you, man.
No, I'd say it used to be, just go to the gym and shoot around. That was the one place I could always go to, and regardless of what's going on, if they're playing pickup, cool. It's an escape. If I'm just there by myself, I could work out. It's an escape. Like there were times where I was injured, and I could at least just shoot.
Yeah.
So it was always an escape. It was always a place that I could go to, and regardless of what's going on, I'm good, right? Like everything's gonna be all right. I think that's like, for me, that's the one place or one thing that, regardless of what's going on, as long as that's there, then I'm good.
Nah, I love that. That really speaks to the hooper in you. You're a basketball player to the core, and it's obviously impacted your life to a degree where, I mean, you're coaching kids. You haven't let go of the sport. It's a love,
Yeah. I don't know if I could. I've thought about it, and I've tried to pick up other things. Like, even like, I'm trying to learn the piano, and then even like learn violin.
Yeah. The violin, that's my favorite instrument. How did that go?
So not as I just said, it was pretty bad.
That is
my neighbors complained, but
really,
it was
man.
It was but the beauty is the school that I'm at, I have access to stuff. I mean, it's a very it's one of those schools where it's it's artsy, but yet it's educational based. Like that's their primary focus. Even though yes, we do have sports that are high ranking. It's a high level conference. Their main focus is academics. So they, the kids they're presented opportunities that the average, growing up out this way, there's no like the violin in high school. It's rare. Like, for like growing up, we would have never seen that. Learning the piano. Yeah, there's some schools that may offer it, but it's not pushed like it is. It's not accepted like it is. At the school that I'm fortunate to be at. So.
Got it. Yeah. Think about this. This is actually difficult. Where like things will pop up, and I'm like, oh, cool, don't forget. It goes away. You gotta try and bring it back.
That's part of old age, man.
Forgetting things. Let me go take a nap and get some sleep.
No, I'll pick up my phone, right? Just like pick up my phone to look at the time.
Yeah.
And then forget to look at the time and then put it down. I have to go back to looking at the phone again. Like, oh, why was I looking? And then same deal. I'll spend 5 minutes trying to figure out what time it is, just because I forget to look at it.
You're losing time trying to find time. Oh man. Any questions for him, Ernie? No. Okay. Do you have any regrets?
Ooh. I think the biggest regret is not listening to my parents. I think that's like the one thing where growing up, you feel like it's cool to rebel and listen or go with the crowd.
Yeah.
But then when you really sit back and think about it, and for me it was two. The two people that have your best interest is always going to be your parents.
Yep.
Like they're teachers. Yes, they're going to mentor. They're going to do. But at the end of the day, they can only go so far. Parents, they're the ones that'll give their lives, for you. They'll give whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that'll make you successful. They're willing to do that.
Yeah.
And if I, growing up, if I had trusted in them like I should have, then there's no. And I'm thankful for every experience, where my life is. The outcome of my life so far.
Yeah.
Thankful. It's a blessing. And I'm happy about it. But I think if I had listened to them, I mean, I don't know, like there's no telling where I would have been, the amount of success. So that's one of the big regrets.
I love that so much because I think, again, similar story, we take for granted those that really love us the most sometimes as we're getting older. Because we want to make our own decisions, and then we grow up and we humanize our parents. We realize that maybe they're not superheroes. They've made mistakes because we've made mistakes. But also, a lot of the things they told us were true.
Yeah.
I had to find out the hard way. Yes, bad associations. You lose useful habits. Really?
Yep.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's great advice, and a lot of the youth that are watching, we have a lot of young people watching. Hopefully they can, there's a lot of things they can grab from this episode. Making decisions is something we do our entire life, not just as youths. Staying grounded is important no matter what age we're at. What has helped you stay grounded and balanced and in a reasonable state of life? Like, what's helped you?
I think family. Family is like the biggest thing.
Okay.
I don't make decisions. I don't literally everything I do. I consult with my parents, my mom and dad, and I try not to do anything. Well, if I'm doing something, before I do it, I always ask myself, am I comfortable doing this? If my parents were watching, were watching, they were right here. Am I good with doing this? So that's essentially how I base my decisions. How I go through life literally is just if it's something I don't understand, if it's something I'm shaky on, or if I need just another ear or another set of eyes, or somebody to just bounce ideas off of, I hit up my parents.
Do you believe in a higher power?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. All right, we can end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Nana, thank you for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, it's been a great episode. I'm glad we were able to get to know you a little better, and you shared so many interesting and wise things, a lot of good advice. It makes me really happy to know that you're helping the youth. You know, you haven't lost your love for basketball. You're a real one, man. Thank you so much. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to come here, and so I really am appreciative.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And you can get that one-on-one whenever you want to. Maybe we'll do a side episode and we'll do a one-on-one. All right, y'all. Tune in, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys. Take care.